Welcome to She's All Over the Place. Kiriaki here. This is an interesting interruption and new format for my show, but I actually attended, On Air Fest last week, and I learned some new nuggets and tricks. So I'm going to apply them for my podcasting career in life. So here I am doing a solo episode and just kind of getting more intimate with things that excite me. And so you can get to know me a bit more. Please follow me if you're not already, and definitely subscribe and write a comment, leave a 5-star review on podcast, on Apple Podcasts. And then also, I guess there's an area I found out from my friend who had me on his podcast called Passion Struck. His name's John Miles. He said there's an area, if you're on Spotify, there's like 3 dots. You can click that and you can do some kind of star rating thing like that. So if you're on the Spotify, please take a moment and do that. That'd really mean a lot to me. You know, next week I have Emily, who is a musician in a band. She's an alpha, amazing, powerful person, and she is into music NFTs, and she's just a boss. I really admire her so much. But with everything that's happening in the world with Ukraine and, what's happening, it's so massive to my heart. I just felt like the show must go on, sure, but I just wanted to take some moments and pay homage to, the people who are really hurting and really suffering. And, my heart calls out, and I've been reflecting, like, what can I say? What can I do? Sometimes we feel we're helpless or we can't do anything. So just the power of the thought, just the energetic power of the thought of peace, of prayer for, everyone. Yes, everyone to be okay, and for this nonsense to stop, and to not shout out angry things and, eliminate, even though how frustrating it may be, and how obnoxious it may seem, but just to shift the language and the thought to more compassion, silence, grace. And if you can just take a moment and have a deep breath and say a prayer and just, keep Ukraine and the people in your prayers, that would really mean a lot to me. And that's kind of why I wanted to come on and just do this solo episode right now and just really express that and do my due diligence by coming and speaking up and, putting some, cracks in there to break up the old and say, yeah, it's not okay. It's not okay at all. It's not okay. And I've also been reflecting of just like my home and my voice and my life and having a home and being able to eat and just the peace and the silence and my creativity. And we're all stuck, and there's no comparing to another, but, it's just like, I just wanted to really take this moment to just really express my gratitude for, first and foremost, my health, having our health, no matter what our circumstances are. There are people who are in fight and flight and petrified, terrified right now. And I couldn't even imagine what's happening in Ukraine. And I feel really, really deeply, deeply moved. And thank you for tuning in. And, I'm heavily focused on NFTs and Web3. And Andrew Wang has been posting nonstop. And they created a relief, which is RELI, the number 3, FXYZ. You can go to the website. Also, that's their Twitter. I'm following them. In 30 seconds, they raised $1 million for Ukraine the other day. So epic. They created a Ukraine DAO. So it's UKRAINE _ DAO, DAO, if you want to check it out and be a part of it and see what's going on. And then Andrew Wang, he just announced that Shepard Fairey announced that his next piece will all go towards the relief and Ukraine DAO. If it sells out, it'll raise 445 ETH. So it's beautiful artwork. Foundation did a post the other day, and they were highlighting Ukraine artists. And my friend Sheila Darcy, who's going to be on the podcast in a couple weeks, she retweeted something, and then I retweeted it, and then I retweeted a bunch of Ukraine artists as well. Keith Grossman, who's the president at Time, he has timepieces he's doing exclusively for Ukraine. Make art, not war. Inspired by the spirit of Ukrainian people and the incredible ability of the Web3 community to come together for good. we are honored to announce Timepieces, Artists for Peace, with 100% of the proceeds supporting humanitarian and relief efforts for Ukraine. Wow, that's so amazing. And if you go to follow him on Twitter, you can go to Timepieces and follow them as well, but you can see all the beautiful art. It's, oh my gosh, it's so amazing. And it's so impactful. The people in Web3, everyone's very excited, and, you know, the intentions are on par. And these are some really great people you can befriend and follow. Also, Mondor, he has NFT Liverpool coming up, and Keith Grossman is on the board selecting, you know, I think there's like 5,000 submissions, or maybe just over 3,000 submissions, because you can submit for 2. And they actually extended the submission because of what's happening in Ukraine right now. And I think they have like a special division 2 for NFT Liverpool, which is happening. It's happening in April, but the submissions were extended. So if you know someone who is from Ukraine and they have art, I definitely think they should be in contact with these people so they can get their art on there, and definitely, you know, be supported by the community, because it's moving very fast and everyone's being very open and very supportive. And there's a lot of rooms in Twitter Spaces, so you can follow them on Twitter and jump on Twitter Spaces. There's things happening 24 hours a day. So do your own research, but I'm here to be a vessel and to educate people. There was this girl who I've known for about 6 years, and she's this socialite, you know, New York City, and I haven't spoken to her for a few years, and she's like, oh yeah, I've been studying NFTs for like over a year, and I've been watching a lot of YouTube videos, and it's all these dudes on there, and it's all these like people saying all these things, like it's so confusing, and that you have to have all this money. And then she knows a bunch of Wall Street people in New York, and they're all like strong arming her. She said that like you have to have all this money to get involved, and, you know, all these like 10,000 projects. And I just like broke it down to her. I'm like, no, you don't. This is what you can do. And there's like marketplaces, steps. You can build your own smart contract. There's, you know, companies you can find out how to do that. Oh, I also, just so you know, I created a pink sheet so people can contact me. It's a pink sheet. So there are divine feminine beings in the space who are spearheading and who I admire, who I've been learning from, who are part of my community that, you know, I'm connected to. So email me, DM me on my Instagram. It's probably the best way. Chonacas, Chonacas. And also on my Twitter, it's just Katie Chonacas, my name. So you can DM me and I can send you that pink sheet. It's my pleasure to gift that to you. I also started bi-weekly Zooms for people to come together in the community so we can educate each other about what's happening. Like, are you into music? There's platforms for that. Are you into photography? There's platforms for that. Do you have video content? Are you doing podcasts? You know, I'm dropping all of my episodes as NFT podcasts, my audio. Yeah, and so I did some collections with Hey Lair, and they're on not next week's episode. Yeah, next week's episode. Hey Lair's on. It's built on Stacks, which is built on Bitcoin, and then they just created an opportunity for ETH wallets to be connected to the NFTs as well. So I have 2 collaborations on Hey Lair. It's the 11 Pillars, Marina's boss, and they're like, okay, let's, you know, introduce Kiriaki to the blockchain. And so with my different 11 pillars, there's 22 up, there's 2 NFTs for each pillar, and you can go to the websites in the show notes below and you can see, you know, me at my oak tree, my core from a youngster, and all the branches of what I've been discovering and creating for, you know, over 2 decades in my professional career and traveling the world. That was in January. And then the month of February, I released the rest of my poetry pieces in collaboration with Robert Sturman. So it's an original Polaroid that was discontinued by the company Polaroid in 2001. And they're very rare. They're so gorgeous. And it comes with the poetry piece. So that was really exciting and a really cool collaboration. And we're donating 20% of the proceeds to PETA and the Gentle Barn per Robert's suggestion. So it's really awesome. I'm really excited about this. So yeah, that would be in the show notes too. I would love for you to please check out the collections and pick up 1 or more of my NFTs and share them with your communities and people so you can support me as an artist. That really means a lot. In addition, if you don't have crypto yet, good news. You can put in your debit card or your credit card and you can purchase the NFT that way. So then you can get in the game and break the silence of being separated. Like, oh, I don't know what NFTs are. You can like literally buy an NFT, be like, yeah, I got one, and start leaning in and moving towards NFTs. NFT is a non-fungible token. And, you know, I'll be sharing more on this in future episodes. And also, like I said, I'm doing these bi-weekly Zooms now, and a lot of people in the community are doing that so we can learn and grow together. Sobbit Sobbit just released healing codes today. It's in pre-sale, and I definitely picked one up because I support the homie. Love Sobbit. He's amazing. He's a genius. And it's really wild because like 222 was really big for everyone for February, and I minted number 222. How apropos, right? I'm like, oh my gosh. So now I definitely own now 3 Sobbits NFTs from different collections. So I'm so excited about that. And I think we own like 100% of the rights too. So with my Tokyo Punks last month, she's my new logo. Seriously, she's my logo. And also I made a whole merch line. So it'll be in the show notes down below. But you can check. I have a merch line. You can get t-shirts and like coffee mugs, and you can put it on everything. I'm so excited about this. And she's so sweet. She's so me. And speaking of she, you know, it's really exciting because although I go, and I told you in the first episode, although I go by like she, her, I also go by they, them, right? So I'm doing this women empowerment series because of that awkwardness, because of feeling like so masculine, of feeling so awkward and growing up like knowing I was a tomboy and then, putting on dresses and being girly and my voice and cutesy and like those kind of things, but also like being able to not be identified by my gender and not put into a box, which was really uncomfortable on so many different levels. So I'm not putting any shame or blame on anyone or anything. You know, everyone has the right to feel how they are, but I'm glad there's more communication and, more non-judgment so we can fully express and be who we are, so we can understand like our differences and how we're a lot alike. So this is really exciting. Okay, so let's see. Within the last week, I picked up Enchanted Valley. They have only 500 artifacts, and I picked one up. I guess you're allowed to pick up 5, and they have a series of different releases that they're going to be rolling out, but the public mint is March 7th. So definitely go to their Instagram, Enchanted NFTs. It's ENCHANTED NFTs, and you can just like go. They have a link tree. You can join their Discord, and I really like that project, so I would check it out if I were you. Also, my friend Blue Moon, she just posted 90s Babes, and 90s Babes, they start minting March 1st. It's 10,000 generative collection that celebrates our history as agents of change with the goal of empowering women through NFTs. So I think it's 90s, 90s babesnft.com. So I joined their Discord, and I think I'm going to pick one up tonight. I definitely want to be supporting women in the space. And also, like, it's not just like, women in the space, but I do it to break, the gender society of the norms of things that are awkward, of, like divine femininity in all genders, the masculine, feminine, normalizing us as a humanity. So when I was a child, I invested in myself in so many ways, in my beauty, in my healthcare, in my education, with reading and classes and coaches and headshots and, test photo shoots and working with photographers and creativity, and I would do everything. But when it came to financials, I didn't look to women. I didn't look to a divine feminine being. I looked to a man. I looked to a man outside of myself to be an angel investor, to support me in my justice of, wanting to do wonderful things for the world and humanity and to make an impact. And just no one understood. It was so confusing. Like, I really just didn't get like how cutthroat things were and how like it was perpetuating for over 2 decades of just trying to like get this out, which was outside of myself. And I traveled all around the world and I met all these different kinds of men, and it just like was not happening. And I just started investing in myself. And when I started investing in myself on a financial level, I became more of an oak tree, and then the branches really took off. So, I employ myself to focus on my weakest link, which was that. And by doing that, I'm sharing it so other little girls and genders and people can look within their own selves to do that as well. And I want to pave the way and be a voice for that, because, I hear internationally from so many women and people that they're told to be silent. They're told to turn a blind eye. And I know what it feels like to be silenced. I've seen people in my life be silent from different cultures, where the man speaks and the man orders and the woman says something and the guy like talks right over her in front of people. It's so, it's just like not okay. Even though it's not okay and you know it's not okay and you see it and you're around that environment, sometimes we allow people to treat us that way and we think we deserve it and we think it's normal even though we feel and we know it's not. So I had to grow through some of those things. So that's why I'm here sharing this stuff. Even if one person, even if it's one person and it hits home, then I'm proud and I'm full of harmony because that's what it matters. The ripple effect, one person at a time showing up. Again, that's why I'm here with my voice speaking of peace for Ukraine and putting it out there, even if one person hears this. But I know more than one person's going to hear it because I see the downloads within the first 24 hours. And I'm so grateful for everyone who's dedicated and who tunes in. And I want to hear from you. So how do you want to hear from me? Like, let me know. Is Instagram good? Is Twitter good? I do have, my website. Chinakas.com. You can go to the contact form and write me a message. If you have an idea for a podcast episode or have any suggestions for me or stories that you want to hear that I'm not sharing, I'm just like 1000% here and vulnerable. Oh, speaking of my friend Blue Moon, are you ready for this? Yo, I have always wanted to dye my hair blue. Like, did you see that Element movie? It was back in the day. It was like Fifth Element or something with Bruce Willis. I think it was Bruce Willis. I'm not going to look it up. But yeah, I was a kid and it was like that electric blue hair. I love cobalt blue. It's my favorite. Okay. And So, I always wanted it. And la 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 la. But anyway, so like just a few weeks ago, I just finally went to Amazon and I ordered something and I got it. And it came the next day, but I didn't do it the next day. I waited and waited and waited. And last night, I was like taking a hot shower and I'm totally preparing for this role for a new show on a network owned by someone that I really can't say right now. So I better not say anything. You know what I'm saying? You can't like talk about certain things. But it's an on-screen role, like top of show. What? I'm so the character booking it. I'm like, in a couple weeks, I'll be like, yo, I'm on set working. Da, da, da. Like, I'm so in on this. And I want to say it doesn't matter if I get the role or not, because obviously it does. But, like, I've already manifested it. It's already mine. What's yours is yours. What's yours is yours. And so what happens, I'll say, like, taking a hot shower, I was, like, preparing for 4 days for this role to be off books. It's like, da-da-da-da-da, like, a lot of jargon back and forth real quick, right? Like, Miss Maisel type. Love her. And so anyways, I'm like, oh, okay, like after this audition, I'll do it. And it's always like, oh, maybe after an audition, I'll do it. I'm like, no, actually, this is really good for the character. It's who I am. It's what I am, like how I am. Okay, a non-binary character. And like, it would be very apropos, like, or whatever, they, them, whatever, if she was or not, right? The character, no matter who it was. I just felt the character's an artist and it was very me. So I did it. I dyed my hair blue. Yo, and it's like, the box is like so bright blue, like that kind of electric blue, but because of my hair, the color, and I had like these like ombre blondes in it, which I totally wanted to like cut out soon anyway, because it was just looking like super dull. I don't know, I won't say never. One of my friends who's an attorney taught me never say always and never say never. They're too exact, right? Never say never, never say always. So anyhow, I'm like, I probably won't want to ever do this to my hair again, this blonde, and it like fries it. So anyhow, I put the blue on and I was just doing it with my bangs and just the front where the blonde was, and I'm doing it. I'm like, F it. And then all of a sudden I put the whole thing on my head, like the whole entire thing. So if you look at my hair right now, it's like super dark. I look very ethnic, and it's kind of this midnight blue on my bangs in my hair because of like the brown, but the areas of the blonde, it's lighter and it's that electric blue, bright blue, cobalt blue vibe. So it's super cool. It's like midnight blue with this like, and then it goes lighter on like the mid and the tips. It's super cool. So if you go to my Instagram, I'm going to be posting some videos and photos soon, so you can definitely check it out. Definitely have to do some photo shoots to, celebrate this blue. But while I was doing it, I just wanted to share this story also because The thing is, when you want to do something and you don't do it, you're stuck. But when you want to do something and it's just ruminating in your head over and over, when you want to do something and you do it, you get empowered. I feel so powerful. Like all those other things that were holding me back, those weakest links, it's a domino effect where it's like I'm shifted into my power, and it's like an F it attitude. It's like what I want, it inspired me, it feels good. No matter if anyone likes it or not, I like it. That's what matters. And I showed it to a few people and they like it. They're like, oh my God, how'd you get it like dark and then it like goes to a fade? Like, I mean, it looks professionally done. I did it myself, but I'm an artist, so I have a natural talent at certain things, and anything I touch turns to gold or blue. And I kind of have a vibe of like how things should be. Anyway, so that's kind of my talk on my blue hair and the reasons why I did it and the reasons why I'm sharing this, so you can, whatever you want to do, that thing that holds you back, one step at a time, do it. Take actions to that. Or if you can just do it. Like literally. Nike to win, victorious people, just do it. I feel great. I feel really connected to my authentic self, and I feel connected to my little girl Kay. I feel connected to my younger self, right? Listening to my voice with curiosity and flow. And that's why you're here listening to my voice right now, because I show up to inspire you. I show up so you can show up for yourself. That's why I show up. Okay. And also when I was doing it, I was reflecting and everything. And, I was singing some posts and stuff. And I was, debating like how my voice can matter and like what I can say. I haven't been to Ukraine. So I would like to go. And I haven't been. And so I haven't shot Ukraine. I've shot many places around the world as a photographer, as a passion, as a love. And I've always wanted to go to Ukraine and Russia. Like I wanted to go to both places and I haven't been. And who knows if I'm going to be able to ever go based on like how people are acting so immaturely, right? So with that being said, I'm dyeing my hair blue, and in my heart and soul, energetically, I was connecting with Ukraine. And I'm like, yo, if I had yellow right now, I could do like half yellow, half blue. It's not too late. Maybe I can do that to show up. I'm not Ukrainian, right? But I could show up. I have blue hair now, so I could like maybe get some yellow and put some yellow in my hair, and that could be a statement. Why not? People are taking action in any which way. Anytime you can be creative, add color, add value, say something. Sometimes you don't even have to verbalize. You can say something without actually saying something. And that's what matters, that we show up and we say something that means something to us. And if it doesn't mean something to us and we're not affected by it, or we choose to turn a blind eye, then we can look at that. Why are we turning a blind eye? Why aren't we speaking up and saying something? Oh, because it's not my community. Oh, because I'm not like that. Oh, because I don't like those people or want to go to these places. I mean, that's something, I'm not shaming or blaming myself or you or anyone, but it's just something to be curious, right? The number one emotion is curiosity. Was I conditioned to think this way? Why do I find myself righteous in this way? Why am I so righteous in this way? We can play with that idea. We can ask questions about that and go through an exploration and grow. So thank you so much for coming to my TED Talk. Okay, so let's see what else. Oh my gosh. Okay, are you ready? Since I've been so laser focused and fired in, seriously. Okay, so I've become this collaboration guru. Okay, so Metaverse Radio, check them out. Okay, I'm a part of this collective of, 40 to 60 NFT artists, and they have their first ever Hall of Fame and gratitude displayed at our CV radio station. Super cool, right? And they did a collaboration with Crypto Voxels, so check it out. You can see my album Dreamland 1111 included in the exhibition, which is so awesome. Really, really awesome. So happy about that. And then also there's this collaboration out of Chicago. It's called the Mirror Towers. They invited me to be a part of their curation in Chicago. It's this NFT collaboration, so I'm a part of that. Also, okay, I'm going to tell you that one in a minute. But actually, so shout out to NFT Girl Gang. Kitty, she contacted me and she wanted me, because she's like, oh, you're a boss, babe. She wanted me to be a part of ETH Denver. They did a collaboration with Harmony Protocol, and they had a gallery all week at ETH Denver. And so I sent her a submission of, my NFTs that are on Hey Lair from the 11 Pillars, the NFT artist one called with Wow. Like I'm wearing a red sweater and it says Wow on it, WOW. My NFTs were showing at Ethember, which was really awesome, all of February. Also, shout out to Searchlight because they invited me and my poetry, this spoken word film that I directed called Juliet. It was a part of Domance, DOMANCE, the world's first immersive NFT dome art exhibition in the Dome Landa metaverse and Searchlight Spatial Galleries. It was basically half the month of February. Like, it was so amazing. And the program include talks, short films, DJ sets, VJ sets, and spoken word from Jessica Yatrovsky and myself. So that was really cool. She's a boss in the space. They did a collaboration with AltSpace. So you could have these VR headsets and go in, or if you didn't, that's fine. You also could go to the gallery that they did with Spatial Galleries. And I was in there a few weeks ago because Sawbet, when he did the release of the Tokyo Punks, they did a celebration at the Spatial Gallery. So I already had the app downloaded and an account already. So that was really, really cool. And then last but not least, I've always wanted to go to South by Southwest. I haven't been. I've always been wanting to go. I love tech. I love music, film. Yeah, so I've always wanted to be invited to South by Southwest. I've always wanted to go. And upcoming the 11th through the 20th, 2 of my NFTs will be at South by Southwest with Searchlight and Mint Gold Dust and ILLUST space. So this is very, very exciting, and they're compatible with an AR platform. And I guess our Domance art collaboration will be at South by Southwest as well, in addition to the 2 new pieces that I'll have at, it's like the largest NFT art exhibition happening at South by Southwest, and I'm a part of it. I literally wrote 2 poetry pieces for it. One is called Ladybird Lake, and the other one is called Barton Creek Natural Beauty. And I'm gifting, I think, like 30% to Searchlight. I really appreciate their love and their support and honoring me. One of the mediums I do is nature on canvas, and they're 3-dimensional, and I take wilted roses and bamboo and leaves, things from the nature, like Mother Earth, and I apply them onto canvas, and they're 3-dimensional. And thankfully, I have digital photographs of all of them. So I took 2 digital images, and then I wrote 2 poetry pieces, and I was thinking maybe I should record them, and then it'll be like spoken word poetry on the NFT. In addition, they can have the written poetry in the description. So deciding if I'm going to do that or not, and because tonight I'm actually going to be finalizing the upload. That's all the news I got for you on this episode. There's some NFT love there. Shout out to the homies, the community, everyone who's rocking and rolling. Contact me, get in touch. If you go to my website, I have a newsletter, so you can sign up, and I send out newsletter on NFT information, things I'm up to, things of that nature. So rock and roll, keep it real, and I look forward to hearing from you. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you next week on She's All Over the Place. I love you. Mwah.